it is the middle of the night on a Sunday, sometime around midnight, sometime after midnight. And that's typically when we come on board. And it is Sunday Night Suns. I am the Blunt Doctor with my man Keith Strader. What is up, Keith? How you doing this week?
Doing good, man. Can't complain. Upset about today's loss. Upset about injuries. But, that's all external.
It is. I also forgot to light the on-air sign, so it's like we're struggling this week. Like, things are not going in the way that we want them to in Suns world. This was just not the week. This is not the week. I mean, 2-2, not horrible, especially considering that Devin Booker's hurt this week. It certainly could have been worse, I suppose, but the last couple games really didn't. Just frustrating.
Yeah,
and it's a week that started off pretty well, and then kind of sort of careened off the cliff. So it's one of those things where you just got to take the good that you can, suffer the bad. Especially considering this was an opportunity for us to gain ground.
Dude,
right?
I know.
Because every single situation right now is about seeding. Like, we started the show because the Suns were having a cool season, and we thought it would be fun to talk about, wow, what if this team can get out of the play-in? Now we've literally gotten to the point where we're talking about, like, the team actually having, like, a top 4 seed. And so it's just one of those things that gets to you,
Yeah.
Who hurt Devin Booker? The Atlanta Hawks.
Yes, the Hawks!
The Hawks!
They are cursed Hawks!
And we must destroy the Atlanta Hawks for what they've done.
Yes. They've been a thorn in our side for a century.
Oh, God, dude. We've had so many weird games with them over the years. This shit isn't even necessarily new. But what I find so frustrating about this week in particular is, on top of the injuries, I feel like there's a lot of us shooting ourselves in the foot in a lot of ways that are completely unnecessary, in a lot of ways that, we did not, it just wasn't necessary. It just wasn't that kind of, like, it wasn't the Phoenix Suns basketball that we've become accustomed to this season, where everyone's like playing their ass off and there's so much cutting. You said to me, because again, I don't see the highlights until we do them here. But you'll talk to me about them sometime. And one thing that you said to me when cutting these highlights, or after cutting these highlights, was, I felt like there's a lot of less ball movement in these highlights. And I really felt like that bared out in this game tonight, where I felt like it was both. Like, I felt like it was the same thing with the Heat game last week. Like, I just felt like we don't want to move when we play against them, or we're very frustrated. And the one thing that kept coming to my mind was, is this an example of just Eric Spoelstra is out-coaching Jordan Ott? Because Jordan Ott still has to grow, and he's just getting his teeth kicked in a little bit by, the ultimate coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just, I don't know. That's kind of where I went to, because I just felt like Norm Powell is open all the time. Hawkes is open in the corner all the time. Bam is getting wide open corner threes. Like, nothing we did looked right. And so it just looked like one of those games where, I don't know, everything just felt off. I didn't feel good about anything that I saw today. And I'm not saying the guys didn't put in energy. It just didn't look like what we've come to see this season. There was less movement. There was less cutting. There was so much less creativity on offense. And again, we expect that without Devin Booker, but I don't expect, like, trying less. And I felt like there was trying less. I don't know. What do you think? Where did you, like, land on all this?
We did get down 20 on them, and we put in a lot of effort to come back. I thought that was awesome.
Yep.
Looking at the percentage, like, we shot 37% from the field tonight. We made 37 out of 100 baskets. I don't think you win most games when you have that kind of percentage.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we actually kept them. They made 39 of 93. They only shot 41%. So, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, we basically were even. If you look at the stats, they got us by like 3 rebounds. So I don't know. I think the effort was there. I just maybe not in the right places, and then we just couldn't hit a shot, to save ourselves.
I felt like our defensive effort was good. We were just out of place, but I did feel like our offensive effort was lacking. Like, I just saw too many Grayson Allens jacking up a contested 25-footer because nobody's moving and he doesn't know what to do. And the frustrating part is, like, we're within 10 when that's happening.
Yeah.
The game's not over. And I know that, again, without Booker, and this did also feel a little bit just like we ran out of gas. I mean, like, Livers was making every shot, and we still can't. We're still trading buckets. It's just it was a weird game. Bouye didn't really do much, even though, we're excited to see him out there. Jamari really didn't get anything done. Just a bad game. This is one of those ones where it's just like, I just want to throw it away. But there are things to learn from it, because I do think there's a little bit of Eric Spoelstra showing Jordan Knott what's what. Like, hey, buddy, you may be the new kid on the block, but I've been doing this 20 years. And I'm going to show you how this is done. Because, again, my affinity for Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah.
Like, I think
he's a good. I agree with you.
Yeah, I think that Spo is the best coach in the NBA. I've said that for a very long time. I wholeheartedly believe it. And I do think that there was a little bit of, I'm going to show you how we get open threes in Miami. Because the stuff that they were doing, and we don't have highlights from this game. Maybe next week we can still cut some highlights from this game, because I would like to look at the way they were generating these open threes.
All right,
because, like, Powell is open, and Norm Powell should never be open.
So you want to take a look at our defense in the highlights?
I do want to take a look at, and we may have to figure out ways to do that. Maybe we can just, download the game and queue up sections of it. But the point is, to me, is just the way that Miami, maybe we just need to look at Miami's offensive highlights. Like, you just need to go to Miami's page, because especially down the stretch, like, Hawkes is just not even touched while he's shooting. And I just, again, it's one game. You don't draw too much from it. I'm not, like, pressing the panic button or anything like that. But I do think there was a lot for us to learn from this game defensively. Because even if Booker is there, like, Booker's a great defender. And again, we've talked about how underrated he is. But I don't know that solves the problems in this game, because, like, Booker's not a rim protector. Like, he would have made better defensive rotations on the perimeter, and that certainly would have helped. But, like, there were some situations where guys were walking for buckets. They're just walking in because Williams is looking the wrong way. And that, Booker doesn't solve that problem. He might solve some of the wide open corner three stuff.
Yeah.
He might snuff out some of those. But I do think that, again, I just think Spo. But again, this game was relatively close till kind of the last few minutes. If Booker is there, if Jalen Green is there, very different game.
Yeah.
So
Booker's a magnet on offense.
Yeah, his gravity this season is so huge. He's drawing double teams constantly. We see it all the time. So him not being there, certainly, that's going to clog up the offense and so things that. But we just need to be better than that. This is 40 games into the season, not set. Because listen, if we're going to sit here and praise this team when they're doing everything right, we've got to be able to also sit here and talk about when they do wrong. And this game was not a good example of everything that we've talked about this season. And again, I'm not trying to hate on anyone. It's just that if I wanted to show people a game and I was like, this is what the Phoenix Suns are about, this is not that game.
Yeah, I agree. And we don't have Booker, so that's a huge part of the Suns right now. He's our MVP. But we still want to run our system. It's like next man up. One thing you're talking about defense is, I know Booker's not known for defense, but he does do a lot of, like, like coordinating. Like, he points out positions. He tells people where to go. I feel like on defense sometimes I always see him pointing. So maybe without that kind of leadership on defense, people got a little lost. I'm not sure. I know Brooks is still out there, but
well, and that's certainly true. And I do think that, Devin's a leader and he's vocal. Budenholzer, got mad at him for talking too much, which is ludicrous. You let Devin Booker talk all the fuck he wants. But I agree with that. That's certainly missing. I think the other thing, though, is that, like, Colin Gillespie, this was a bad Colin Gillespie game. Mm-hmm. And not just because of, he didn't make a huge impact in the stat sheet or whatever. Every pass he made was really passive. Like, there was not a lot of Colin Gillespie's flying off, let me attack and try to create. There was a lot of just, like, 2 dribbles and passing to Grayson. It almost looked like he had the flu or something, and he didn't want to, especially as the game went on. Like, Colin was really passive. He had no assists. Like, he really wasn't passing to assist. And not that you want to, like, not that, getting an assist is the end all be all, but I mean, like, he wasn't passing with intention. Mm-mm. He was just passing to move the ball and get rid of it. It just was a weird game.
He wasn't very aggressive either. Like, when Booker's out, you got to take more shots. I'm trying to pull up how many shots he took. He didn't attempt many.
And that's what I'm saying, is he wasn't aggressive at all. He didn't drive. Mm-hmm. He didn't shoot. He didn't do anything. He just, again, it was like he had the flu or something. Like, this was just a bad game. But I do, the way that Miami got their corner threes reminded me a lot of we talk a lot about, the 2021 finals run and the Chris Paul pick and roll stuff. The way that Miami was getting the threes in this game really reminded me a lot of that, because there was a lot of, there were, I could be wrong. I could have been, my son screaming and I missed it, but I swear to God, I saw a couple of elevator door actions out of the pick and roll stuff, which is just straight out of what we were doing in 2021. And so, which is very Eric Spoelstra, by the way, to go watch film from 5 years ago from a previous coaching staff and then use that against us. Like, that's a very Eric Spoelstra thing to do. Although, to be fair, I don't know how much in-season preparation really goes on these days. These teams don't practice. They go back to their own cities, their own homes. It's pretty crazy. Like, NBA teams go through training camp, and then it's just kind of like, well, we'll figure this shit out for the rest of the season, folks. Like, it's not like Little League where they practice every week. But
no.
I
guess one more thing to say about this game on defense is Dunn only got 8 minutes, 7:57. So, I think that might have something to do with. I'm not. Why do you think he only got 8 minutes? Looks like Livers got some of his minutes. Bouye too. I think that's like a direct, correlation between defense. Because Dunn is a great defender.
Dunn is a very good defender. So that certainly doesn't help. Again, I mean, that's the thing is, we might have a flu and we're just not really talking about it. Like, maybe everyone's kind of sick. Gillespie's sick. Dunn is sick. That could be going on. Because again, it was weird rotations. It was, it wasn't a lot of, this wasn't a big Oso Iguodaro game. Like, at least for the moments we saw, we did go back and forth a little bit at one point with the NFC Championship was going on. So there was, but it wasn't like down the stretch where like, man, Oso's doing it. He did have a couple of nice defensive plays. He had a block. But overall, just, again, not a game to write home about, but something that I would watch to see, why are we sort of getting blitzed on, some of these pick and rolls. And that's really something that, because again, we listened to the Low Posts, or not the Low Posts anymore, the Zach Lowe show. They did a deep dive on the Suns, Zach Lowe and Nekias Duncan, and we listened to them today, and they were basically talking about the two things that they think they worry about with the Suns is how do we attack switches in the playoffs? That's an offensive problem, and then how do we, what is our rim protection going to be like in the playoffs? And that's our main defensive problem. And I think both of those things are valid.
And, in this game especially, we had issues with those.
Yeah.
Another thing I'll say about this game is Royce and Allen combined for 1 of 18 from 3.
Yeah.
That
right there, that's, Grayson Allen was bad in the second half. Very bad.
Well, I think a silver lining of this game was Dylan Brooks had a good game.
Yeah.
And we were wondering, we weren't wondering. We were saying, Book's out, so he's going to have to kind of be the captain of the ship right now, and I think he did a good job with that.
Yep.
At least from his output. So
Brooks kept us in this game.
Yeah.
Like, there was a bunch of the midi, and that was the thing that Nekias Duncan was saying when he listed how well Brooks is shooting from mid range this year, and he was like, "What am I looking at? Like, how is this possible?"
Yeah.
And I think that. Yeah, Brooks did an amazing job in this game, but I do think that what he had to do on offense limited what he could do on defense. Like, you only can do so many things, and we're down too many bodies. And I wonder about Gillespie. I wonder about Dunn. It's a weird game. The Dunn thing is definitely weird, and that's one of those things where we got to look at the next game. Does he play 30 minutes, and it was just like, all right, that was a one-night thing, or is this something going on? Is he losing minutes for some reason? And the thing is that, like you said, Livers and Bouye got minutes today. So this is not a game where Dunn would be losing minutes. This is just the kind of thing to me that makes me wonder, do we have an illness? Because there's a lot of little weird shit going on, you know? So,
yeah. We got to put our fillers out.
Yeah.
Talk to our insiders.
Yeah. We got to reach out. Yeah. I'm going to call my people at the Suns.
We'll get back to you on that one.
Yeah. All right. This is going to be, I love this so much. Whoa! The Phoenix Bird.
They need to adopt that as the symbol.
I actually really think that they should, like, let's utilize the Phoenix as part of, I mean, this is. Sorry, apparently that removed our audio when I took us off screen there. But that's very, anyway, it's truly a sight to behold. That logo generated completely by us.
Yeah.
All of our own artwork. We did it all by hand.
Just say 24 twice. No. I think it counts.
It's out. It's 22, 25, 20, 24, 24. We did this all completely ourselves. No AI was involved at all in this ridiculous upcoming showdowns. It's off center. It's not good, but it looks cool and it's funny and that 20
conversation starter.
It's 22, 25. Maybe these are just the numbers. Why are there two 24s? One of them is a cornerback and one of them is a running back. This is college football, okay? Anyway, what upcoming showdowns? Mm-hmm. Do you know the list of? Do you have the list in front of you of the Suns games that are of our upcoming showdowns that we have?
We play the Nets next.
That should be a win.
Yeah, we play the Pistons. I want to say after that. Hold up, then we play. I'm getting this. I know who we play. We played the Cavaliers.
That's another one I want to win because the Cavs have that last game. They beat us pretty well. Like we weren't ever really in that game. Like they had us by like 15 for most of the game. And I just hate Donovan Mitchell dating back to his days in Utah. And I always want to beat him.
Yes. So Nets, Pistons, Cavs, Clippers.
That's our next week. So we got another 4-game week.
And it's tough. Clippers have been playing really well.
Clippers have been a lot better. Kawhi Leonard has awoken from the dead.
Yeah.
They're still like in the fucking like 10 seed. They're in the play-in. But, they were dead. So for them to be in the play-in is actually something because it was significantly. It was at one point going to be, their season was left for dead by so many people. So the Clippers are not a joke.
They have like the best record since January or something.
Yeah, you want to beat the Nets obviously because the Nets are bad.
Yeah.
The Pistons game. We took the Pistons down to the wire without Booker last game. So it's like you want to be able to hang with them. The Cavs again. It's just. This is difficult without Devin Booker. Every single thing that we do emanates from him. And when Jalen Green is out too, like this should be a scenario where it's like, all right, Jalen Green is now going to get his run with the team. He's going to get his opportunity to show what's what. And instead, we're just continuing again to watch just an endless supply of, Grayson Allen jacking up 26-footers and all these things. And, this should be an opportunity for Royce O'Neal to do more playmaking as well. Honestly, everything about this game was weird. And I don't want to see, like, if we go 0-4 this week because every single game was like this game, then I am fucking pressing the panic button because then that would be 6 games in a row. I would be extremely concerned at that point that the season was falling off the rails. So this week to me is actually incredibly fucking important because, like, if Devin Booker is going to be out another, let's say 2 weeks, so let's call it another 8 games, we have to come out of that at 4-4. We just do. Like, it sucks to be playing 500 ball right now, especially considering that there's so many. But given the fact that the entire conference is basically crunched, we've got to do the best that we can, and you cannot just drop spots here. So
if we played like we did tonight, we do not go 4-4.
We're in trouble.
Yeah, we of these 4 games this week, we go 1-3.
Yep.
I think if we play the same way we did
I agree.
tonight. So I agree. Yeah, but I don't think we're going to shoot that bad at
Also
home,
true.
this in this stretch. So I think that is a little kind of like misleading in this game, is just how terribly we shot.
Yep.
So, but like you said, that could be a fluke. Like, what do we shoot 37% at home? Like, that never happens. So maybe there is something to what you're saying, sickness or whatever. Just, just getting home after a long trip. Maybe it was cold. I don't know, but
Yeah.
you're coming home, you're discombobulated.
There are so many different possibilities for. Yeah, I mean, yeah. The funny thing about the Miami games is both games looked a little bit this way, and it's like they were bookending our road trip, and it's like the trip to Miami and then the trip home. Like both of those things seem to throw us off a little bit. Just not perfect games. So, I definitely this week is huge. Like we must win the Nets game. You've got to, essentially. You got to find a way to take 2 of 3 of the, I mean, I guess 1 of 3 of the Pistons, Cavs, and what's the last game is the Clippers. Like, I think we should be able to beat the Clippers. Like, even without Devin Booker, like, I mean, Kawhi is still awesome. He's Kawhi. But I really think that Dylan Brooks is having a very similar season to what Kawhi is doing. And I think that we are still a better team than them, and I think that we should be able to neutralize the things that they're good at, because I think that like Williams is a good match for Zubac. Like those 2 games I really think should be wins. So it's like if you can find a way to split the Pistons Cavs games and then come out with the Nets and Clippers, was like that. Like if we could find a way to go 3-1 this week, that would be amazing. Like obviously you want to go 4-0, but it's like. We've got to go 2-2. We cannot go 1-3 because you're starting to get in real trouble there. We've got to go 2-2, but I really think there's an opportunity to go 3-1 because you should beat the Nets. You should beat the Clippers. Even with Booker hurt, I still think that you should beat the Clippers. They're old. They're slow. So much of their depth has not worked out. They're rotating in all sorts of new people. Mm-hmm. We have much more continuity than they do right now. Not from a year-to-year perspective, but just within this season itself. So those should be 2 wins. So find a way to split the Cavaliers and Pistons games. Come out of this week 3-1. Keep yourself in position because, again, if we can do that while Devin Booker is out, we don't have to rush it back.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
To go 3-1 without Booker, like I would be back on cloud 9.
And again, I don't think it's a pipe dream because, again, we should beat the Nets. We're just a better, more talented team. They're very young.
They don't play much defense.
None. And, the Pistons and Cavs, it's like, yeah, they're both good teams, but hey, we're home. Mm-hmm. We should have an opportunity here. And again, I just think that we're better than the Clippers. So it's one of those things where we are playing for more than just that. Again, we're playing for more than just a chance and a shot at whatever now. Like, you're trying to get positioned to win a playoff series here. And you're going to have injuries. So how you respond to these things is major. And tonight was not a good example of what we need to see. And again, I'm not pressing any panic buttons yet. I'm taking it one game at a time. The Hawks game, we'll talk about it when we get to the highlights. Again, an opportunity lost there. But I think the biggest thing is that, Booker's going to be out 2 weeks. He's not going to be out 6 months. He's not out for the season.
No.
You just got to stay afloat.
Yeah, I was seeing people were saying 4 to 6 weeks, and now that we're coming out with 2 weeks, that makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah. And on that note, the player of the week, because this is another thing that we definitely designed ourselves that I actually really like this one.
This is a good one.
Cool. It looks good. It's like without us there, it's like a dude on a court. Looks pretty cool.
Yes,
here's the funny thing. Because we're adding new things as we go here. This wasn't super prepared for. We're adding things as we go, but I'm gonna give this one for me to Devin Booker because
I agree.
Number one, the first couple of games he was awesome. He's been lighting it up. He was starting to tear it up in the Hawks game before he got hurt. And in this 4th game, you just see without him how difficult it is. And I know that, there's no criteria for this. We can fucking do whatever the hell we want. And so my criteria are what player this week proved that they're the most important part of the Phoenix Suns. And that's always going to be Devin. But this week, really, Devin was playing awesome and then the whole team kind of falls off a cliff without him, and it's just like, hey, this is what it is. This is why he's the man. This is why he has that $70 billion in 2030. This is why we want him here for his entire career, because we're +5 on, with him on the court, and we're -2 with him off it. It's a 7-point swing. That's a major net rating swing. It's not as big as like Jokic or whatever, but that's because our team isn't garbage like the Nuggets are when Jokic is off the floor. So, like, I do believe that. I do think that Devin Booker started to get his due a little bit, and I think that when you see games like this, you're like, yeah, man, like, this is why we're seeing what the trouble is. Like, it's just, we need this dude. We need him, and it's going to be tough without him. We got to get him back.
Yeah, I agree. I will be counting the days to get Booker back, and I agree he's the player. I would have chosen Booker, too, for this week. He was averaging 25-plus points a game in those 3 games that he played. Even in the game he went out early, he had 31 points.
Yeah.
He found his 3-point stroke against the Hawks, which was sick.
Yep.
But yeah, he's been playing so well this, second half of the game the last 20 games that we've played. He's been just playing so well.
Yeah.
And it's just so frustrating that he went out like the way he did. It's just sometimes you're like, are we cursed? But I know we're not. And he'll get healthy. It'll be okay.
Somewhere there's a witch.
Yeah.
It's like, you are cursed. Yeah. I know. Again, I think it's booked because this week was a great example of what Devin Booker means to this team.
Yeah.
Like, it starts off so well. He's just kicking ass.
Yeah.
He gets hurt.
We're finally healthy. Green
Yeah.
gets to play.
Things are rolling.
It's like we're going to get rolling.
Yeah, we're getting rolling. And then... Yeah. And then just everything drives off a cliff.
Yeah.
And you want to cry. And, it is what it is. But listen, it's again,
that's basketball, baby.
That's baseball, baby. As I specifically said coming into the show, I was like, I'm going to have fewer lags and I'm going to stop doing things where I go, it's. So good job, me. I just think that you've got to stay afloat. And again, cliche, generic, blah, blah, blah. I understand all of that shit, but you do have the Clippers coming. Mm-hmm. You did have the Warriors coming a little bit. Now with Jimmy Butler being out, I think that's different. The Blazers are not garbage.
No, they're not.
Denny Avdia is having a monster season. So
this is not an easy stretch of games.
No, it's not. And these things, this is the part where things fall off for us, right? We've had so many years like this where things were going well, like during the Eric Bledsoe years, where we would be like, hey, dude, things are going well, and then just something, and the whole thing just sort of careens off the cliff. Now, again, what we're doing right now is way more sustainable on both sides of the ball. But injuries can derail anything. And so the most important thing is obviously for us to get healthy. You want everyone back to 100%. I do start to wonder if the Jalen Green thing, like, if we can bring him back, like, he should probably be playing 20 minutes a game as a sub. Like, not because of the talent, not because of whatever, but it's just like, I don't know that his hamstring can take a 36-minute per game starting load right now.
Yeah.
So let's not even ask him to do that. Like, let's just work with him and say, look, we want you to get healthy. We want you starting here next year. But right now, you're not healthy enough to do that. I think that we should be working him. But even if they want to start him just as a, like, your starter, and then 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes kind of thing. I just think that he needs to be really carefully managed.
I agree. And it's almost the way he plays, his style, is the way he cuts and moves, just is going to put more strain on his hamstring. So, like, I don't want him to turn into just like a jump shooter or whatever, but he might have to kind of do some of that as he works back into his rotation, into his minutes.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing about, being one of these athletes who, they have this level of physicality and talent. It's like you have to at times, figure out what you can and can't do when, you're coming back from an injury. What do you have? What do you not have? Those things. So I think he's going through that. But it's just like, you got to stay afloat. That's where they are. Before we go to the, look, there's waves. I don't know.
Magic colors.
It's the sad colors of the Broncos and Rams, the
Mavs.
The horses who were both shot today in the NFL playoffs. Both horses. Rams aren't horses, whatever, but they were an animal taken out and shot to pasture.
Like a dog.
Because now we have a repeat of 2014 of the Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. This is a nightmare because either I have to hear forever that Drake May is as good as Tom Brady, or my nephew, rest in peace, is going to be furious that the Seahawks won a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. So obviously I want the Patriots to win 100% clearly, but hearing that Drake May is as good as Tom Brady and he won a Super Bowl in his second year and blah, 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 all that shit's going to annoy the fuck out of me. But I hate the Seahawks, so I gotta have it. So, it is what it is. We're killing so many animals because this is football. Listen, Bo Nix was the sacrificial lamb. They broke his ankle, and then they took Jared Stidham out and shot him in the head. It's
a violent sport.
It's a violent sport. I, honest to God, don't know if the Patriots are good. They have not played a good team this entire season. This was not a good game at all by them. I don't know. I hate this Seahawks team, and I'm very concerned that they're going to win because they are just so good. And, I really feel like that Seahawks-Rams game was the actual Super Bowl because I just don't know. Again, the Patriots had back-to-back 4-13 seasons. They came out of nowhere to be this good. I just really don't know that they have the depth or ability to compete with the Seahawks. So,
yeah.
I'm really not looking forward to, can you imagine how insufferable Seahawks fans are going to be if they win a Super Bowl with Sam Darnold?
Oh, my God.
Not to mention that Sam Darnold was drafted by the Jets, which makes me hate him even more. So it's just, I need the Patriots to win. I need Drake May to bring up these annoying ass comparisons because the Seahawks winning makes me want to vomit. So it's this is just, again, and anyone who knows me for a long time knows how weird it is to hear me talk about the Patriots this way because I was once the most diehard fan. The way they all talk shit about Tom Brady ended that shit for me when he left. Just so many people, we don't need him. He's garbage. Mac Jones is
right. No gratitude.
None. And I can't have it. So we'll see what happens in the Super Bowl. But I think it is time to look at some highlights and hopefully actually get some correct illustration going down. Because I rewatched, because we watched, the show, and I rewatched the clips, and I'm like, man, I sure do like to pause a lot. And I also sure do like to point the arrows and not actually draw, which is a problem because when I point the arrows at things, it doesn't show on video. So we're going to try to do a better job of illustrating this one. Now,
we've reviewed the tape. We will make adjustments.
We're going to make adjustments to it. We're going to make a tradition out of it. I think we've already made the tradition, Mm-hmm. I think at this point it's just about making the adjustments, getting it energized, all that good stuff. Which game should we start with, do you think?
The Nets, why not? It was we go back in time to the beginning of the week.
I can work with that.
We had a great shooting game, I think the Nets kind of had us learn a little bit of bad habits because they just didn't play any defense against us. So we just kind of shot the ball, and then that kind of style persisted. But,
I can see that. I can see it. Well, let's get a look at what we got going on here.
Yeah.
We're all muted up. Let's take a look. All right. Well, we got Gillespie. We got Royce O'Neal. And that's just beautiful stuff going to our favorite player. I hope that we can get Oso Ighodaro on this podcast one day.
Dude, that would be sweet.
I hope that we can find a way because that would be awesome. What I love about this right here is that when we talk about pick and roll basketball, right, we're always talking about two-man actions. And over time, I do want to get more into because I do feel like I talk about things in a very general sense, and I want to get into more the different types of pick and roll, what they're called, what they are, blah, blah, blah. But in a very general sense, we're always talking about high pick and roll, point guard and center, all these things. But this right here is essentially a three-man action, right? Because you've got we've got Oso right here, we've got Gillespie right here, and we've got Royce right here. So instead of a typical action where I'm just running a high pick and roll, here we basically got 3 dudes who are going to set up this play, and then in the corners, or drifting towards the corners, we've got our 2 shooters. And these are basically sort of the release valves for the play. If everything doesn't work out, right, we've got these guys around basically to catch a shot and take it from the corner, or they're there to crash on the offensive glass, those sorts of things. But when you watch it, you'll see that this very quickly is, these 3 guys right here set the pick right into Royce, and he screens for Royce right back to Iguodaro. So when we normally would have, our point guard basically, he's the one who's going to lob the ball or whatever, this basically switches the action for who's actually generating the playmaking, right? Because at this point, everyone who's keyed in on the defense is keyed in on what Gillespie's going to do, because they're assuming that he's going to be generating the offense and he's going to be the one who's, actually initiating the action. But instead, he gets it to Royce, who, because again, Iguodaro screens for Gillespie and then for Royce. Like, he basically double screens here. And then that allows the Nets to have to scramble, which allows him to cut for the easy lob. And it's just like, again, it's simple stuff because you're just basically switching who's actually running the pick and roll. But when you're playing a team like the Nets, who, as you said, has no defense at all, they've never seen this before. And there are, so many kids on this team, they don't have recovery for this. And so it just becomes, easy. I think easy is the absolute definition of this. Again, double screen, here's to Royce. Now they lose Iguodaro, and it's an easy lob, because right here you can see that once Royce has the ball, now we're scrambling, right? Like, the Nets don't know what they're doing at this point because the initiator has just changed. And you can just see as the play goes on that they just lose Iguodaro right here. They're covering Royce, and as they scramble to cover Royce, Iguodaro is now about to be wide open. And now he's wide open. By the time that the center recovers or tries to recover, Iguodaro's already timed up his jump. He's going to catch the ball and throw it down. He's got no chance. And so it's just one of those things where you put that one little extra action in. You just take that one little step, and it throws the Nets off completely. And the thing about this is that, like, you're doing this in a random ass game in January, right? And the Nets have no opportunity to plan or game plan for this shit because, again, they're so young. They drafted 5 dudes in the first round last year. But in the playoffs, these little tweaks, when you have 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 versions of this, that's where you win. And that's how we got to the finals before, is that you have actions stacked upon actions. And so, again, it's minor stuff, but it changes the geometry, and that's basketball, right? Anytime that you can throw off the angles for the defense, you're going to win. So, that's a beautiful one. And again, this is the Oso Iguodaro show.
Yeah, people keep underestimating him.
They do. And this one, we need to get more. That's just a beautiful pass by Gillespie. Everyone needs to do a better job of helping, because you've got Gillespie, right here. He's alone on an island. Everyone's kind of spread out, right? Nobody's really doing much. Someone needs to come over and take the ball and basically give him a DHO. But this is a really nice other thing is, this is just basically Livers seeing what's up. And it's like, all right, I've got the opportunity to cut to the basket right here. And, Gillespie sees that lane as he cuts. And, Gillespie's got advanced point guard vision. And that's a beautiful pass in a very difficult passing lane. But it's funny because these guys, the Suns really should be cutting to Collins. Someone should be up there, take the ball, then you just basically kind of set the screen, hand it right back to him in a DHO, let Colin fly off the pick, let him run the action because he's trapped here. Mm-hmm. But in this case, Liver sees a different way to be a release valve, and it's just a beautiful pass. And I like Livers, I really do. I think he's got something. Brooks, he won't pass, but he'll force the ball out of his hand. Oh God, dude, I love the number of lobs we have this season.
Me too.
Because the funny thing about this play is this is not even this is not a design play. Like, Dylan's got the ball right here. Once Dylan has the ball across half court, Dylan Brooks is shooting the ball. Like, we know this, right? Dylan Brooks is not looking to pass. He literally has to have the ball taken from him. And so right here, take it away right now. Okay, so now we've scrambled, right? Mm-hmm. Now the play is completely broken. What do we do? So often, and unfortunately this is what we saw tonight against Miami, there's a lot of, stand around, someone jacks up a contested shot. No. Immediately, Gillespie gets up here and flies into, what did we do? A DHO action. What I just said should have happened on the previous play with Gillespie, but it's fine. Because, again, this is the simplest fucking thing in the world. He literally comes around the screen, starts flying towards the basket. The whole Nets defense is like, oh my God. And then it leaves Mark Williams wide open for the alley-oop again, because they broke up the first action. Even though it wasn't a good play, it was just Dylan Brooks isoing. They broke it up. Mm-hmm. And now they're like, all right, good. But they didn't get the ball, so now they're scrambling. They can't recover. And all you have to do is a simple handoff pick and roll, and it's just an easy basket. And it just, again, it bears talking about, because we weren't doing this last year. The ball getting knocked out of whoever's hands, it wouldn't have been Brooks, would have completely fucked us up. We would have been, whoever would have had the ball right at the fucking half court line, and we would have turned it over. It's just, we could not recover from anything last year. We were lazy. We had shitty vibes, just all awful. Right here, boom, right back in the DHO, flip the ball up. Oh, that's Booker, not even Gillespie. I didn't even see. I should probably take the glasses off when I do highlights. Let's be fair. I should probably take the glasses off when I do highlights, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to do it. Anyway, absolutely beautiful pass by Booker. Booker, one thing I've noticed this season, he's really the overhead lob passes. He's whipping those a lot more. And I think that his own confidence in his passing is, increasing. And we've all said, forever that he's an incredible passer. But, it's like, again, it's Neo in the Matrix. He's beginning to believe,
Yeah.
I love seeing Booker play that way. So,
Me too.
all right, what do we got here? We got, there again, right there. We just talked about it. Like, right here. I don't need to break this one down. This is just Devin Booker being awesome. This is just, let's do it. And then let's do it again. Let's do the same damn thing.
He split those two defenders.
Yeah, it's just watching Devin Booker play basketball is fun. Like, let's just be really honest about the fact that
that's the next one where we did that. Okay.
Right? Boom. And it's just, this guy is fun. Like, I said before that, I don't know if I said on this show, but I've said to you many times, like, the one thing about the pandemic that actually I was really happy about was that I, reconnected with basketball and fell in love with basketball again, because, the bubble was just, that's all we did. And it was just something that really, felt, it was just dudes in a gym. And there was something about that felt very genuine. And that's why I don't give the Lakers shit about the bubble championship as much as many other people do. I joke about it, but we went 8-0 in the bubble, and I thought that was really legitimate. So I don't really give the Lakers shit about it, mostly because I just think that if it was legit for us, I have to acknowledge that it was legit for them. So, but it was dudes in the gym who wanted to play basketball, and some of them didn't want to show up, some of them did. I reconnected with basketball and fell in love with it again, and just watching. That's when Devin Booker really truly ascended into a superstar, from just our eyes to a national level too. Mm-hmm. And he has made basketball fun in this city again, and it's all about this fucking kid, you know.
Yeah.
And he's a decade younger than me, and I love the kid to death. He's awesome. God, I love watching Williams dunk. He's just so long. I mean, that's like, you love that because the funny thing about that one, right, is it's reverse, right?
Yeah.
Because you got
Williams.
Yeah, you got Williams passing inside. He's like, oh, it's the reverse pick and roll, and then he cleans it up, and that's just funny more than anything else. You know,
that's what the Lowe was talking about, that how they let Williams do that, like, you know.
Well, the interesting thing is because he's got touch. Like Williams is kind of raw because he was injured a lot in college. He's been injured a lot in the NBA. I don't think he was injured in college quite in the way that he's been injured in the NBA, but he hasn't developed or had the opportunity to develop in the way that you would want. But he's still 23 years old. And so you'll see, I remember one time Brian Windhorst described Joel Embiid as like a baby giraffe. Because like you see them like walking and they don't even know what they can do yet. And it was like when Joel Embiid was just like learning how to play, but he was still like dunk on a motherfucker out of nowhere. And it's like, sometimes I feel like that way about Williams is like, he's like figuring out his powers. You know what I'm saying? Like he's still like, oh, like he's like Superman. He like accidentally lights someone on fire. He's like, I didn't mean to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you'll see him do that where it's like, did he just like dribble to the hoop and lay that shit in? All right, cool. And then there'll be another time where he like tries to pass out of the short roll into the corner and there's nobody there. And also did that in this game too. Shit happens. But I really do, I believe in what's going on with our center rotation. I love both Oso Ighodaro and Mark Williams.
Me too.
And
obviously from the highlights I choose.
Dude, Oso he's so good.
I very center-centric highlights.
Center-centric. I like that. We'll do a segment called Center-centric.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the Sixers game. Now, this game also very good because, again, this is a much better team, right?
Yeah.
So to pull away late in a clutch game like this on the road, I mean, the Sixers have been good. Yeah. They've been really good lately, and they've got veterans, young talent. They got a mix of everything.
No Embiid, you know.
Yeah, it's true. But Embiid hasn't necessarily been like a net positive for the 76ers this season. He's been good at times, but other times he's been horrible. So him not playing it's not like in the past where it was like, no Embiid, well he's their entire team. It's not like that anymore. So I still take it as a quality win, especially because when Embiid doesn't play, the 76ers play almost a completely different style. They're so much faster. They're up and down more. And it's like a different kind of game almost. So like I'm still gonna take it as a quality win. I don't care. Mm-hmm. Maxey he's the face of that team at this point, not Joel Embiid. So
it would be interesting to see how Williams plays against Embiid.
Oh yeah, for sure. And a game like this allows Oso Ighodaro to play a lot more because Embiid is gonna punish Ighodaro in a lot of opportunities, but Williams I think has the body and size to mess with Embiid. I agree with you, though. I'd love to see that. But Embiid always ducks the smoke. Yeah. He always ducks the best centers in the NBA, like Jokic and Mark Williams. So anyway, let's dive in here. All right, what do we got? We got we got an inbounds play. Okay. And, you got to love these ATO plays because this is where coaches get crafty. You see a lot of the good stuff in the NBA in these ATOs where it's like, 2 and 3 screens. Because, again, here, you have, Brooks basically comes, set the screen. Booker then flies around Oso, who sets the screen. So it's basically a double, right? And then the funny thing is Booker then just flies right into a defender and scores anyway. Like, it's awesome watching stuff like this because, again, the way we handled this in the majority of situations before would be Booker would get the ball like 5 feet above the arc, and then it would basically be he would either call for the screen or completely ignore it and go ISO. That was every ATO play. And it was the same thing with Durant. It was the same thing with Beal. Like every single thing was just let's see whose turn it is and let's see if they can figure it out. And now, and again, I know that we're cherry picking highlights and I understand all of that, but like the number of highlights that feature 2 or 3 picks Like we didn't have that shit in the past. It's just so much better.
It's clearly a game plan for us.
Yeah, and the thing is, that's another reason I love watching the Oso Ighodaro highlights is because he always does another thing. Mm-hmm. Like, even if he sets the primary screen, he goes and looks to find another person to screen. And, I'm sure that a lot of that is part of the game plan. And I'm not saying that he's just necessarily out doing that, but he's still doing it. Yeah. He's out there making that shit happen, and you got to love that. All right, we had a Jalen Green highlight. This is the first time of the season. We haven't got to look at Jalen yet. And this is just, again, everyone knows where they are. And this is the stuff I'm talking about with Jalen, too, is like, all I've told Keith a million times is what I want to see from Jalen Green is 4 times a game. 4 of the shots that he takes that are just dumbass shots, turn them into a fucking pass. That's it. And look, there's an opportunity for him to shoot this ball right here. All he has to do is come right here around... I can't see the number on that. I
think it's Goody.
Oh, that is 23. All right, that's a good one. Yeah, I might really have to take the glasses off, but it's my character. Yeah, it's my brand.
You'll get it.
We're just gonna turn the screens up.
I'll make more HD.
You need to just label all of the. No, I'm just kidding. So, but again, seriously, and old Jalen Green would do this. He would come around Goodwin and just jack the shot up. He straight up would. But instead, you look for the pass that is there to be made. Like, and I understand it's, part of, we're into a second highlight here. Sorry.
What's going on there?
I don't know. We've had a highlight error.
Yeah.
And now all 3 people watching are like, this is not a professional production. No, it's not. This is 2 guys doing it their way. All right. So, right here, he's got his man off kilter, right? So right here, he has the opportunity to just go this way, go right by Oso, and shoot this shot from the top of the arc. Because that is what Jalen Green would have done in Houston. True story. Is that when Jalen Green sees this opportunity, because he's got his man, you can see right here, his feet are out of position. He's out of position. And Jalen Green does have the opportunity to blow right by this dude and take a jumper. And so much of his inefficiency is because that is exactly what he is prone to do in this situation. But instead, just look. Just look at what's developing. He hesitates. He takes an additional second. He doesn't fire the second he gets the opportunity. And then suddenly, we've got basically a double pass. And again, it's just a quick give and go situation. But it's a give and go where the beautiful thing about this is that, I mean, it's not, because Oso really never had the ball. So it's not necessarily a give and go. It's just, this shit is just beautiful action. Like, I just call it whatever the fuck play this is called. I fucking love it. But it's unbelievable to watch. Booker knows exactly where he is.
They collapsed on him.
And, Oso for the dunk. And every single time we have an Oso highlight, it involves him making a very clever cut, a very clever pass. It involves him setting, again, 2 screens. He's always doing something. It's not about what he's doing with the ball. Mm-hmm. And, of course, it always ends with a sick dunk, and those are amazing things. But it's about what he does to get to that point. It's about the setup. It's about what he provides to the team in terms of, again, I've compared it with Draymond Green a bunch of times. He's crafty as fuck.
Yeah.
And that's why I love Oso Ighodaro, and you see it all the time. And the thing is you're like, yeah, I pick Oso highlights, but there's a lot of fucking highlights to pick.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these. There's not one, there's not two, there's 2 million of this dude. If I'm other teams, I'm watching this like, holy shit, we got to try to find a way to pry this guy away from the Suns. But the dumbass Suns of old are gone. It seems that we know how to actually... I'm like starting to have faith in our front office.
It's crazy. Weird, yeah. It's a nice feeling.
All right, let's see what we got here. We had 4 people for a minute, and I like melted down. I got all nervous for a second. I was like, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what's happening. That was pretty funny. Oh, so good.
Yes.
Oh, so very good. Very, very true. This is the honest to God truth. We love Oso on this show. This is the Oso show.
The Oso good plays.
I really hope we should find out who his agent is. And we should be we do a podcast and we endlessly talk about this dude, how amazing he is. Get him on the show. We have millions of viewers.
Why not? We could try.
I'll
just send a letter every day.
I'll just screenshot this to add 3 zeros after the 2, and I'll be it'll be worth it. And when he comes on, I'll be we're having technical issues, so I don't know why it's not working. And he's I'm with Mountain America Credit Union, and they've prepared me for this, and then he hangs up on us. So anyway.
I've seen that commercial, too.
I know, right? That was a great reference for me. This is 3 Suns fans got that joke. I'll make a Sweet James reference next. So this right here is what you love about Jalen Green is that he's just fast as hell. And again, we've got Oso Ighodaro in the middle of this too. But I mean, the crazy thing is he gets all the way here and beats everyone to the rim every way. Anyway, he's able to get all the way around. Jalen is fast as hell, and he is a supremium athlete. And I do think that everything that he does well has been completely forgotten because he had a bad playoff series last year with the Rockets. And I do think that that's a little bit ludicrous. It's he was 23 years old. He was the primary option on a playoff team for the first time in his career. Yes, he did poorly. And I know that his career shooting splits aren't great. But again, my thing is that playing off Devin Booker is going to give him so much opportunity. But it's how do you not watch the... I mean, he gets all the way around these motherfuckers. How do you not watch that and go, okay...
Yeah. That's exactly what we need. We need people to get to the rim in our team.
And he just flies by everyone. And yet again...
We're 3-0 with Jalen Green.
Yeah.
When he plays.
Yeah. And it's yet again, Oso's right in the middle of it with the beautiful pass that's crafty as hell. But what makes him able to make this pass is that, I mean, look at where Jalen is when he actually goes to throw this ball. Right now... He does have his man on his hip. But there are multiple defenders here that can crash on this ball. And he just knows that Jalen is so much faster than all of them that if he just gives him the opportunity, he's going to be able to blow by every single one. And it's just trust in a dude that he hasn't even played with that much this year.
Yeah.
But that level of connectedness, because Jalen Green's still been... watching the games, he's at the games, they're on the same page on this. And this, again, this play is not, that's basic basketball stuff. They're not reinventing the wheel, but I'm just saying, there's more chemistry there than you would expect from 2 dudes who really haven't played together.
I agree. He wasn't even looking at the pass. He just knew it was coming to him. Yeah.
And I mean, here again, I do think that, this is just really simple stuff, but I do think that Jalen Green has been a much more willing passer than I expected him to be in the few games that he's played. Mm-hmm. And this stuff right here, again, there's an opportunity for them right here for him to jack up a shot.
Yeah.
He's
open.
Yeah, he's got 2 defenders in his face, but whatever, he can just jack up the contested shot. That is what Jalen Green did in Houston. He did it all the time. And he only averaged 3-4 assists a game. He never had a season where he even averaged 5 or 6 assists. He was not a passer. And right here, he's looking right away. And again, who is it? It's Oso Ighodaro throwing down another dunk. But I do think that Jalen has kind of got the note that, hey, we're going to play. We're going to play as a team here. We don't need anyone to sit here and we've got Devin Booker. We do not need you to take 30 shots. We need you to take 18 shots and dish some assists. And when Devin is hurt, you're going to be the guy. And, that's, again, what I was hoping we would see, but that Hawks, fuck that. Fuck the Hawks. Oh, God. Devin Booker, when his 3 ball is on, I mean, that just, his form is gorgeous. I mean, you love seeing a complete fuck up. You love seeing Devin Booker wide open, and again,
burning Oubre.
Yeah, burning Oubre is fun, because he said some shit too. It's and that's the thing, because Devin, as much as he loves to fuck with people he doesn't like, he delights in scoring on his friends. All of I believe that one of the reasons he plays so well against the Knicks right now is just because he loves burning Cat. Because, the funny thing is, he used to destroy Minnesota, And then they traded Cat, and then it's like not as much. But although Anthony Edwards also, oh god, I don't even want to talk about it. So anyway, let's just watch Devin Booker shoot because that's gorgeous. I mean, his shot is so, his three balls wet, man. It's just beautiful. And again, Jalen attacking the rim. This is the thing. If Booker is gonna shoot like this from outside, not the 29% that he started the season with, where he was slow start. But lately, where he's been heating it up a little bit. If Booker's going to shoot like that, and Jalen Green is going to get to the rim like this, those are elements that we're going to need. Because you're not always going to be able to do, sometimes you need to do to get a fucking bucket.
Yep.
Sometimes you just need someone to get a bucket. And I'm seeing, you're right. There's a lot less ball movement in these highlights. There's a lot more athleticism. But I do think that it's something we need. I also think that people talk about ISO basketball like it's bad. You have to do it. It's part of the game. It's just that you don't want to devolve to the point where that's the only thing that you do. But it's not that you're like, oh, we don't want anyone who's an ISO player. Absolutely not. You need ISO players. Like Jamari Bouye is kind of a poor man's Jalen Green.
Yep.
If you watch the way that they play. We need more of that shit. We need dudes who are going to attack the rim. We truly do. And, oh my God, that's just beautiful. I mean, it's like when you watch this guy play and he's having a good game, it's easy to see why he went number 2 overall. Because he has everything. He gets to the rim. He's splashing threes. He's doing everything that you would be expecting Tyrese Maxey to do in this game and was doing in this game. But I'm just saying that I do think that Jalen Green has been unfairly maligned because of the role that he was put in by the Rockets, where he had to carry the entire offensive weight of a team that had no offense. And they're like, you're inefficient. And it's like, yeah, but your entire offense is predicated on the team missing and getting offensive rebounds. You need him to miss for that. So what do you even want? I don't know. I just don't like what the Rockets did. And, look at what's going on with them right now. They're not so hot. So I just want this dude to get healthy because it's tantalizing watching
I know,
him.
just seeing these.
When you see these highlights, you're just like, man, this dude, he's something else. And again, the alley-oops. We're like Lob City. We're having, and again, it's just out of, this is the stuff that I love is they're looking for Dunn to roll to the basket because right here, we've got basically what's a give and go action, right? So the 76ers are basically expecting right here for him to cut to the hoop because the idea is essentially Royce comes down here and, he's going to basically be the roll man. But instead, we've got a guy waiting in the dunker spot and we have someone else basically waiting for the alley-oop and Dunn just sort of drifts back up here, draws the 76ers' attention. They're not looking. And Williams just gets the easy dunk. And it's again, one little wrinkle, and it goes from difficult to so simple. And the biggest thing to me about stuff like that is that everyone's doing it. We've seen Oso, we've seen Dunn, we've seen Goodwin, we've seen Williams. Every single guy has been willing to sacrifice a bucket to get a bucket for someone else. And that's how you win. It just, when you are not obsessed, when everyone is obsessed with getting as many points as possible because their contract, whatever, everything falls apart. And it's funny because, we've all seen it a million times where dudes are headed to free agency and they absolutely must get theirs. And it ends up fucking up the team when if they would play more in a team concept, it would go well. And, we did this to DeAndre Ayton, though, right? We told him, just be a guy who scores 14 points, grab 10 rebounds, and then play as much defense as you can. And we will take care of you. And then when it came time to pay him, we're like, well, you only score 14 points and grab 10. We then used it against him. So we were shitty as an organization. I don't know, man.
So, about that game, we attacked Drummond quite a bit, and we actually did pretty well on defense against Maxey. We held him to, I don't know how many points, but he basically didn't score anything till the last 4 minutes of the game.
And Drummond is not
went on their run.
Yeah, Drummond is not what he once was, certainly. And he was never like elite or anything as a defender, but he was certainly a very good player. And he's definitely one of the best backup centers in the NBA. So again, I'm still calling that a quality win. Yeah. You slow down Maxey and you have Jalen Green kind of do a lot of the stuff you would expect from Maxey. To me, that's a quality win. So I'm not hating on it at all. So,
I agree. And you're right. Teamwork does make the dream work.
Oh yeah, teamwork makes the dream work. Very true. Very true. I agree.
And we're not overly selfless. Like you say, some teams that will pass up an open shot. Like we have a really good,
yes, I don't feel like there's a lot of that. 6 extra passes and then suddenly the clock runs out and you're like, what the fuck was that? Like, I don't feel like we have a lot of that going on.
If we have the shot, we take it.
I agree. Yeah, everyone's bombing away from 3. And I love how much we're shooting from deep. So I agree with it completely. So here we got Gillespie going to Brooks. So that's villain on villain.
We didn't have any Brooks highlights yet. So
just easy stuff. But these two together, they're quickly becoming really good friends. You love to see them play together. But man, Brooks' offense this year has just been awesome. It's been amazing to see. Just having the best season of his career. That's just a beautiful pass. I mean, look at this shit. Like, this is just, how do you even, like, it's just right between. So often you will see a dude try to throw this pass and this guy tips it and it's going the other way for a dunk. And Booker just right through and Williams right to the hoop. Long stride. Williams is huge.
His ball handling is good.
Yeah. And Williams has soft hands. Yeah. Williams reminds me of Amari Stoudemire. He really does. Not in terms of pure, like, freak athleticism, because Amari could jump out of the gym. Amari is one of the craziest athletes we've ever seen. Williams is a good athlete, but Amari wasn't as big as Williams, though. Williams is bigger. But it's the hands. He's got soft hands. He really catches a lot. DeAndre would fumble the ball too often. Even though he had good hands, like, he would still, like, when he went to dribble, it would, and Williams really seems to be able to, and is getting better at catching the ball on the move towards the rim and then finishing.
Yeah.
And once he can turn that into a one dribble back up into a jump for a dunk instead of some of this lay-in stuff, like, I think it's going to be even more effective. But it's like you want to see the best pick and roll ever, you go watch Nash and Amari. The pick and roll will never be this. That's the basis for the entire modern NBA. All right, what do we got going on here? Oh,
and that's where he got injured.
It sucks that he got injured there. But I mean, again, it's just look at the speed. Like he, I mean, he injured himself, but he also looks like he breaks Four's ankle. I mean, look at that shit. This is. He was right in front of me. Yo. That's ridiculous, man. That juke is ridiculous. Like that's grown man business, son. Like that's if you did that shit to someone at the park, you'd get all kinds of look at it. Oh, just leaves him in the dust. Right to the rim. And that again, you watch that. Imagine you're an NBA scout and you're like evaluating these dudes pre-draft and you see that. You're like, number 1 overall. Like, I understand why Cade went first. I've always been a big Cade dude. But I'm just saying, like, man, dude, that.
And I can't believe there are people that are like, thought we were going to be worse when Green came back. I just could not understand that. He won't play defense or what, I don't know.
Watching some of this shit, I'm like, woo. I'm starting, like, because you just don't, most guys can't do this. Like, this is special. And again, it is, like you said, some of those hard cuts can lead to him getting hurt. And he's got to figure out how and when. You've got to be judicious about those things. But you see talent like that, and you're like, all right, let's figure out a way to work that in.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because that kid he's special. He just is. All right, Brooks and Williams pick and roll. And we know Brooks is not passing. And we know Williams is offensive.
See, I love the instinct on that. You know what? I'm just going to dunk it here.
Yeah. And, I mean, look at number 1, he's surrounded by Hawks players, still comes up with it. And then, right here, how does he dunk this ball? Like, he's behind the basket right now. And yet, he's so strong, he just gets up and throws the ball down anyway. Like, again, that's the thing that Redick was saying, I think, is that he has the second longest standing reach in the NBA behind, I'm assuming, only Wembanyama. It would have to be, right? Mm-hmm. And so, like, he can make plays that other dudes maybe can't make because he's long as a motherfucker. Like, Williams is something else, dude. Like, I love watching that guy play. Oh, dude. Jalen Johnson, this fucker.
Dude, he shot the lights out against us in this game.
He just completely destroys us. Like, it's beautiful defense.
Him and CJ.
Yeah. Dude, McCollum, like, that was, I was like, what year is this? But this dude, like, this is incredible defense because this guy can just score from everywhere in every single manner. I mean, dude, I'm not sure that I've ever seen Jalen Johnson miss a shot against us. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that he has. I've just never seen it. Like, he's this, I guess, technically you could, no, I think he throws this one inside. Yeah. And it's just like, we swarm the ball, we swarm the passing lanes. And see, this is the thing is we don't necessarily have rim protection, but we swarm the ball in the paint. Mm-hmm. So while we don't necessarily have rim protection, we do defend the paint, which not exactly the same, but, you know, going to lead to a lot of this sort of shit where you're able to get out in, you know, fast breaks and create easy buckets and create transition offense. Because, you know, again, the thing about defense in this era, obviously, is like I literally have to protect the rim. I literally have to protect the three-point arc. Nobody's shooting from anywhere else. So it's like you know where you need to be. You're in one of two fucking places. I'm either covering my guy at the arc or I'm covering the paint. If someone's shooting from the mid-range, we're just going to let them, right? Because we've decided as a league that mid-range shots are inefficient. So it's like you know where you've got to be on defense. And I think we do a really good job of just like, even though we don't have rim protection per se, it's just like, nope, we're going to wall off the paint. We're going to try to create as much transition buckets as we can out of that because everyone else is at the three-point line ready to cut, you know, and it's just some of the things about defense are almost, as the game has gotten more complex on offense, it's gotten easier on defense because it's like we're defending two fucking things.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, but this guy is special. Like, the Hawks were right to trade Trae Young and give him the ball and just let it be his team. Oh, God. And that's just chemistry. Because that's just those two dudes knowing each other. You know, Gillespie and Brooks just a little two-man game back and forth. The amount of chemistry that the Suns have in this season already for a group that was, like, put together this offseason is pretty unbelievable.
I agree, dude. We have, like, one of the best chemistries in the league right now, I would say.
It's you know, it's the National Amari years when they're, like, on playoff road trips together and they're, like, singing, like, the whole team is singing songs together on the bus. They're, like, singing Motown songs, like, they genuinely liked each other as a group. And I think that that's what we've got going on right now. I really don't think that people... Like, I think people love to go, Shaq and Kobe hated each other. And that didn't matter. They still went to work. Okay, great. They were Shaq and fucking Kobe. They were able to put their shit aside and still do it. Most people are not Shaq and Kobe. If the vibes are bad, talent doesn't matter. Look at our team last year. The vibes were horrendous, and it didn't matter that we had Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. We couldn't put together a fucking top million offense because the vibes were so bad. And there's, like, the fact that people were like, dude, the Suns locker room came to blows, and their people were punching each other. And Kevin Durant was like, that didn't happen. And I don't know who to believe. Mm-hmm. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that they came to blows.
Well, there was rumors that, like, someone threw punches in the locker room last season.
I wonder who it would have been.
Like, Beal. It would have had to have been Beal. Yeah. But that motherfucker is so it had to have been Beal. But Durant swore, he's like, I swear none of this happened.
I think it was Nurkic trying to punch the coach.
The funny thing is, though, it's like, normally I would believe KD just because he's so blunt. But it's like the fact that I even have to think about it is how bad the vibes were in Phoenix.
Yeah.
And it is legitimately the exact opposite of that now.
And like it goes to your point, like it just shows you how vibes like were so much better than we were last year.
Yeah.
You know.
Everything is better now.
That last highlight
is rising.
Yeah, Felix is hot. That last highlight where we had 4 minutes left in the game. Those were our last points in that game. So with the last 4 minutes, we did not score.
And that's how you lose.
Yeah.
Like that right there. You take the lead, 103, 102, right?
Yep.
And then you just you play horrible down the stretch. You cost yourself the game. They weren't. It was just a weird. We don't know how to guard Jalen Johnson at all. Mm-mm. And I do feel like we're like so flustered on defense that it like our offense just gets bogged down. I don't know. Both Hawks games, we just like don't seem to know what to do with Jalen Johnson on either end of the court. He's just like shutting down every single thing that we want to do on both ends. He's scoring on whatever defense we have. He's swatting. So he's an unbelievable player. And again, the Hawks were right to just say, we're done with Trae Young. Let's turn this team over to him because, I mean, he's amazing. And it's like, I think that he would be like viewed as a like rising superstar in the league if he wasn't in Atlanta. Yeah. I think that being in Atlanta has hurt like the perception of him because like if you were like starting a team right now, I feel like he like and you were like in a fantasy draft, like I feel like he would be like one of your 5 top picks. Like he's like 22 years old, he can do everything. He's a freak athlete. Like I mean, he's good, man. Like Atlanta, like this dude is just. I just don't think like.
Yeah, there's his ranks right there. Points 22nd, rebounds 7th, assists 6th.
Like I would take him over Evan Mobley.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting.
Like I don't think that. I think it's probably no question that Evan Mobley's a better defender, but like Evan Mobley does not have the offensive bag that Jalen Johnson does. Mm-hmm. Like I would take him over Evan Mobley. I would take him over Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner. Like Jalen Johnson is at the top of my prospect list, dude. This guy is good. He is the real fucking deal. He is the one who can carry the Hawks to a level that they have never seen before. So every time I watch this guy play, I'm like, that dude's the fucking one. Because it's just, you don't see, like, you know, it's the whole 5-tool thing in baseball, right? You don't see guys who can do everything. And he can do everything. And that's the thing about Cooper Flagg. Like, people talk about him, they're like, oh, he's not quite this, he's not quite this. I'm not, guess, but do you realize he's doing all of those things? You're like, oh, he's not quite as tall as this guy. He can't shoot quite as well as this guy. He can't defend quite as well. I'm like, yes, but he's doing all of that. Do you understand? And then he scores 40 as a fucking night. It's like, I don't think you understand. Cooper Flagg is the best young prospect since LeBron. And Jalen Johnson is just on that list of dudes who are going to be absolute superstars in this league. So
we had no answer for him.
None. And I would like to see us come up with one.
Yeah. It's something to do with, like, when someone's hitting their jump shots, we're just not able to, get in their head or stop them.
Well, let's be clear that there's no stopping him. Yeah. But it's one of those things where it's the Shea thing, right? Yeah. You just got to make him work 20% harder. And we're not good at that with Jalen. For whatever reason, this dude is not phased. And he just, if the Hawks ever figure out how to put together an organization around this dude, he's, like in the Giannis trade talks, I wouldn't trade him. He's so young. Like, a lot of people have had the Hawks as a potential Giannis destination. I wouldn't trade Jalen.
Yeah. I mean, you want Giannis to play with Jalen.
Right. But this is a dude who is an elite defender, an elite passer, an elite rebounder, and scoring 25 a game. He's like 23 years old. Like, this is the dude for them. So, all right. Another week of Sunday Night Suns. We'll be back next week. Any thoughts before we shut it down a mere 19 minutes after we said that we would at 2 a.m.? I like that we're like, this will be sometime around midnight, and then we always start sometime around like 12:30. Yeah.
I love it. We're night owls. I would love for us to go 2-2 this week.
I'm curious to see how we do against Cade Cunningham again.
Yes.
You know, we were able to really stop him in the last game, so I want to see if we're able to recreate that or if he goes off. You know, I'll be looking at that.
It'll be very interesting to see. Yeah, and I'm really interested to see how we handle the Cavs because the Cavs have not been playing that well. And so that should be a team that we should be able to hold our own against even without Devin Booker because they've really been underperforming. And so I'd like to see us, find a way to, again, I really think that 3-1 could be done this week, but 2-2 is my expectation. Like that's where we need to be. I think 3-1 is possible, but anything less than that, I'm gonna be like if we had a 1-3 week, I'm like I said, I'm hitting the panic button because that we need even without Booker, you got to be able to beat the Nets and you got to be able to beat the Clippers, and then you got to be able to at least hold your own against the Cavs and Pistons and hopefully flip one of those. Because again, you want to get a top 4 seed. The Nuggets are winning games without Jokic.
Yeah.
So we need to be able to win some games without Book.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's it. So I think that's Sunday Night Suns.
Yeah. Good show.
Appreciate you, Keith. Thanks for coming. I'm the Blunt Doctor. I'm going to go probably sleep or something. Yeah, right. I have an infant. I'll never sleep again.